You said the ghost wants to kill me?
The pit is going to hear you directly into their skull.
Technological theater and arts.
Amazing Technicolor Shitshow.
Hello and welcome. This is Amazing Technicolor Shitshow, the podcast about all the fumbles and follies of live theater at all levels. I'm Trev.
And I'm Elle.
And we're here with some drama for your mama today.
We're always here with the drama. I mean, just look at my coat.
Just look at her coat.
If you're joining us from the vid, I'm wearing a nice coat.
And if not, you're missing out on a truly fabulous
you're
coat.
Missing out. If you are joining us on the video, welcome to the green room.
Welcome to the green room.
We always like to say.
Here, I got an idea, Elle. Let's just jump into it.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Knock on the door, Daniel.
Places.
Thank you, places. This is a news article from the Washington Post from September 21st, 1928.
Okay. Wait, 28?
1928.
All right.
The headline, drama is radioed through television.
Radioed through television?
Radioed through the television.
Wait, what does that mean?
I think television was not yet commonly known and understood.
Sure. Yeah.
So a radio drama, but it's television.
Oh, okay.
They
So
could see them.
This is the days of radio drama.
This is before television.
Yes. And so televisions exist, but nobody has one in their home yet.
Correct.
This is like ham radio, where hobbyists and enthusiasts would.
It's a crazy invention.
Yeah.
The television. No one has a television yet.
My crazy neighbor down the street has a big machine in his garage.
Yeah, and you can see the moving pictures in it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is that TV.
Yes. So WGY's broadcast of First Play successfully received by listeners.
Okay.
WGY's broadcast of the first play by television on September 11th was received at Los Angeles, California by Gilbert Lee and Kenneth Orniston, radio operators from that city.
Wow.
In quotes, results only fair due to fading of 21-meter wave. Voice is very strong with occasional glimpses of faces. Mr. Orniston reported.
So this is less a theater review and more a technological assessment of what happened.
Exactly.
Wow, cool.
An independent investigator, Mr. Camille, I believe, it's really hard to see the font because this is an old-timey newspaper clipping. An independent investigator of Pittsfield, Massachusetts, also reported reception of the television signals. He said that the signals were much better after midnight. WGY established itself as the first station anywhere to present a drama by television, transmitting picture and voice simultaneously on separate radio channels. Those equipped with suitable receivers for vision and sound were able to see and hear the actors in the play, though miles separated them from the actual performance.
Wow.
So, as you can see, this was an experiment. This was not like something that they knew was even going to work. They just figured, why don't we try? It's not just a radio. There's going to be a visual component too.
They didn't waste any time wondering about whether or not they should. This was all pure silence.
Yes.
I am so excited about this. I think it's so fun to take a look into when a technology that's so ubiquitous and common now was totally new.
Yeah.
And people are talking about it like it's not really probably going to catch on.
Exactly.
The sine wave wasn't really that strong, so it wasn't really that good of a broadcast. And nobody really cares about this story.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Right? So this article, of course, refers to the first play to ever be performed on live television.
Yes.
Station W2XB, owned by General Electric's WGY in Schenectady, New York, presented the first televised drama in the United States. It was The Queen's Messenger, a 40-minute play by Harley Manners. The play features only two actors, And not surprisingly, the broadcast required a lot more technicians for the special effects than actors. So the viewing screens were so small back then that only the actors' individual hands or faces could be seen at one time. So they used 3 cameras. 2 of them were used for the actors' faces, and then the third was used for images of gestures and props to help tell the story.
Wow.
So 2 additional stand-in actors displayed their hands in front of the third camera whenever there needed to be stage action, like holding a cocktail, holding a gun, or rifling through papers.
Because these cameras are giant.
Yes.
And you're not going to be able to like quick pan to, the next thing that needs to be focused on.
These are very like basic rudimentary kind of style, cameras. They weren't like today's TV cameras, but they had 3 of them so that they could switch back and forth.
Sure.
Depending on which screen they wanted to look at.
And that's so cool because it's soon after the point when movies became talkies.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the same kind of vibe with focusing on an actor and then focusing on more information and then going back to that actor. So instead of like a placard saying, it's
a hand with a gun. Yeah.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here's another segment. This is from the New York Herald Tribune's article on September 11th, 1928. Ready?
Same year? Cool.
Yep. This is about the same situation.
Oh, nice.
Director Mortimer Stewart stood between the 2 television cameras that focused upon actress Miss Izetta Jewell, the heroine, and actor Maurice Randall, the hero. In front of Stewart was a television receiver in which he could, at all times, see the images that went out over the transmitter. And by means of a small control box, he was able to control the output of pictures, cutting in one or another of the cameras and fading the image out and in. Whether it was successfully received at any point, other than the operation installation of the General Electric laboratory, could not immediately be ascertained.
Sure.
It was the general opinion among those that watched the experiment that the day of radio moving pictures is still a long, long way in the future. Whether the present system can be brought to commercial practicability or public usefulness remains a question.
Yeah.
So they still, obviously, they were like, oh, this is such a ridiculous idea in the future. I'm not sure if it's really ever going to take off.
Right.
Yes.
And so this is before anybody had thought of satellites being at all possible part of the equation. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, are they going to switch between different film strips on the fly? But no, we're working with radio. Mm-hmm. There is some kind of control box switching between different angles.
Yeah.
It's sometimes old technology feels more magic than new technology.
Yeah,
just
I
because
totally
there's so
see
much
that.
that we take for granted nowadays. Like putting 3 cameras through a radio signal.
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's so interesting to put like theater in that context and think about this early experiment.
Yeah, and they could have done this with anything, but they chose a play. So like that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
like that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
So this article kind of shows us that clearly people doubted whether this was useful or practical, or whether the public would have a need for this type of technology. But this first drama that aired on television would actually be the precursor to modern TV shows.
Right, because like a sitcom is just like a play that's performed on a stage with a live studio audience.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like, this is just like what that is.
Yeah, it's just the first time someone thought to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
How neat.
So, what came next? Well, in 1931, the BBC aired The Television Ghost, the first supernatural TV show. They shared ghost stories and paranormal experiences. So, when I read this, I was immediately picturing like 1930s Zach Baggins from, Ghost Adventures. I'm picturing like, a paranormal show of today, but like the 1930s fast talk and high trousers equivalent.
He says, who says that? You said the ghost wants to kill me. Get out.
So at this point, obviously, radio was still the predominant form of entertainment. But by the end of World War II, the economy began to grow and television sets became more common within U.S. households, which of course would then set the stage for the golden age of television. So after World War II, late 40s, we get into then, the 50s. Lots of like the TV shows that you know of, like, of course, I Love Lucy, right? That began in the 50s.
I was going to ask like what counts as the golden age of television, but yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. So like I Love Lucy and like that kind of era really kicked off TV being a big deal. Of course, there were shows before that. There were some shows from the late 40s and earlier 50s.
Some shows that nobody cares about that didn't go far.
Some big ones too.
Okay.
So like Howdy Doody was really big in the 40s.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and other
like Woody's Roundup.
Right, exactly. Like that kind of thing. But real.
real shows are required.
But yeah, of course, then in the 50s, shows like I Love Lucy and The Honeymooners and Gunsmoke and like those kinds of things, really kind of made the TV what we know it as today.
And lo and behold, it went somewhere.
I know, right?
They those naysayers can eat their own petards. Or however the saying goes, because however shoddy that first transmission was, we're watching plays on TV today
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, people are doing. Okay, is the phrase "hoisted by your petard"? I don't know why I know that.
Maybe
phrase.
It's hoisted by your petard.
But I don't know.
I eat mine.
I don't know.
Oh, it was eat your words plus get hoisted by their own petard. But I like my version better.
Eat your petard.
Eat your petard out. I've got a story for you. This one.
Bring it on.
From loyal fans of the show. Loyal shitheads will remember Brother Boom Boom from a few stories in the first few months of our podcast.
Yes.
We're back with another one from Brother Boom Boom.
All right.
Confessions of a Pit Musician with In-Ear Monitors. Brother Boom Boom writes, I'm a drummer who plays in a lot of theater productions. And if there is one thing pit musicians need in order to survive, let alone play well, it's the ability to hear what's actually happening. Not just ourselves or the pit, but the actors on stage. Mm-hmm. In theory, that's what monitors are for. In reality, monitors are more like weather forecasts, occasionally accurate, often confusing, and sometimes completely fictional.
I love how we have a real technology kind of theme going today.
Indeed.
Really, we have like a nice through line with our theme from the history segment and this story. So that's great.
And let's see if these monitors do as well as that first broadcast did.
All right. Sort of passable. I saw faces at times.
This could be good technology someday in the far distant
but
future.
We are not ready.
We continue. Every once in a while, you get a sound engineer who balances everything perfectly and the whole pit is happy. When that happens, it's like spotting Bigfoot riding a unicorn. This story is about other people.
Oh.
Usually, by the first rehearsal, I know whether the show will be smooth or a full contact sport.
Oh.
Sometimes the monitors are so quiet you can't hear the stage.
Oh.
Sometimes they're so loud the stage feels like it's happening inside your skull.
Oh, gosh.
And sometimes feedback screams, the sound guy panics, the monitors get shut off, and we finish the show using instinct, muscle memory, and prayer.
Oh, gosh. All right. Ooh, sounds like we're in for a dicey one.
Yes. Thankfully, someone once invented in-ear monitor systems. Every musician gets a set of earphones and a personal mixer so we can control the actors, the orchestra, the musical director, everything. Whenever I hear we're using in-ears, I breathe a sigh of relief. On paper, it's perfect. In reality, it's like being wired directly into backstage reality TV.
Oh, the drama.
There are two main problems. 1, talkback microphones directors forget are on.
Oh, yeah.
And 2, actor microphones that are muted for the audience, but not for us.
Oh, no.
The audience hears the show. We hear the truth.
Oh, this is spicy.
During a show, the stage director had a talkback mic near the lighting board. It was incredibly helpful and permanently on. One matinee, her young daughter was sitting with her. Every conversation went straight into our ears.
Oh, no.
At one point, 2 actors kissed on stage. Suddenly, we heard the director's daughter say, "Ew, did they really kiss?" Everyone in the pit smiled. Later, the daughter got bored and began negotiating for hallway privileges. I distinctly remember snack-based bribery. She mysteriously disappeared after intermission.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. I feel like you've got to know. If you've got the microphone that all of the pit musicians can hear, you've got to know, right?
You wouldn't necessarily know.
I think it really terrifies me to consider that, like, if I'm handed a microphone, there's a possibility I might not know whose ears this is going into. Like, you know, if you're handed a microphone and you're told, like, oh yeah, you know, the pit director can hear you, but you're not necessarily told, like, every single member of the pit is going to hear you in their earbuds. Like,
directly in their skull.
into their skull.
Yeah. Do you think anyone can hear us right now? Ooh. But my greatest monitor moment also happened during that same show. One actress's mic was configured incorrectly, so we heard everything she said, on stage and off.
Oh, no.
The audience heard only what they were supposed to hear.
Yeah.
I never learned her name, so we'll call her Mrs. X.
Oh, my. She sounds mysterious, and I love it.
During a quiet, emotional song, while an actor sang beautifully on stage, we suddenly heard full-blown vocal warm-ups blasting into our ears. Mrs. X was backstage warming up like she was preparing for Broadway and the Olympics simultaneously. Then came the dressing room conversations. Right before one of the big scenes in the show, we heard her say, "Is that a Victoria's Secret bra? I think I wore the same one on my wedding day. That is so cute." Smiles spread across the pit. Then came the line that became legendary. Apparently, someone's costume was particularly bold and revealing because Mrs. X suddenly said, well, look at you, Miss Slutty McSlut." The entire pit laughed out loud. I'm pretty sure the first row of the audience heard us.
Oh, gosh.
Eventually, the sound engineer fixed the problem. Mrs. X's mic went silent in our ears. The show went on, the music was perfect, the monitors were flawless, and somehow the pit was never more disappointed.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is I'm so afraid every time I have a microphone put on me. Like, this is what I'm afraid of.
It's a good fear.
I know. I'm so afraid of it. I'm like so cognizant of
Yeah.
never saying something like mean about somebody while I have a microphone on.
Only say mean
like,
things about the pit. That's the rule.
Well, what if they can't hear you? What if you're trying to like say mean things about them to be funny and then they don't hear you?
There's that age old. Everybody has a story of like a mic picking up a toilet flush or people chatting backstage. But I've never thought about the fact that just the pit in their in-ears could maybe hear things that the audience can't. That's so fun.
Like they might be getting a whole show that people aren't even aware of. They get the real tea.
The real tea.
They
the
know
real goss.
who's wearing the really good outfits and who's got the good Victoria's Secret bras on and who's
That's why
not.
you gotta be nice to the pit.
Yeah, it's true.
Gotta know who's got all the deets, all the tea.
Yes, bribe them with Twizzlers. And
That's true. I've heard they like Twizzlers.
I've heard that.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Five.
All right, Trev, we're talking about technology and the arts.
Technological theater and arts.
Tech theater. So we are going to play Was It Possible? I am going to give you several scenarios involving performing arts celebrities and technology. And you must determine if this situation could have happened or if it was not possible.
Like if the dates match up.
So
Okay.
for like the example, for context, of course, there's sort of the thing going around online that's could a samurai send a fax to Abraham Lincoln?
Yes.
And the answer to that is surprisingly yes, although unlikely. All three of those situations, they did overlap. So
Yes.
samurai and Abraham Lincoln and the invention of the fax machine, there was an overlap.
Yes. Okay, cool.
I'm only giving you 2 things instead of 3.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. So, could the following have happened? Could W.S. Gilbert of Gilbert and Sullivan
Yes.
have driven a Model T Ford?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the question is how late did he live? Because, oh gosh, you're gonna laugh at you. You're gonna laugh at me because I forget
You
when
don't remember
things
how
were.
you don't remember how
It was
long.
definitely the 1800s that a lot of those shows were produced,
but how old were they?
I think they were late, but not late enough that W.S. Gilbert would have driven a Model T Ford. I don't think that's possible.
You're gonna go with no.
No, I think he died before the 1920s or whenever that was.
Well, the answer is actually yes.
Eee, nice.
W.S. Gilbert lived until the year 1911, and the
Oh.
Model T Ford was first built in 1908.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that early. I thought it was in the
Yes.
20s.
Yeah.
Just
so,
because I remember all that stuff about Henry Ford from U.S. history
Yeah.
class. Okay.
Yeah. So there was, in fact, an overlap of a few years. W.S.
Wow.
Gilbert could have driven one.
That's so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what a fun one.
Yeah. So this is going to be kind of a fun game. All right.
I love it.
Could William Shakespeare have used a compound microscope?
What's a compound microscope? Microscope and a compound? 2 microscopes together? Seeing a tiny microscope with a bigger microscope?
I've only ever used compound microscopes.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
just
know, like when you have, on a
Like
table.
the tube lenses.
The tube lenses.
Yeah.
There's a little crank. I've only ever used a compound microscope. I don't know what other kinds they have, but
I'm gonna guess that is pretty damn early. I think that yes, this sounds possible.
yes.
Yeah.
The compound microscope was developed around the year 1590,
It's the
and-
Renaissance.
and he lived until 1616. So
Cool.
he could have possibly used a compound microscope.
That is cool. I love that tidbit.
All right. Could Charlie Chaplin have gotten an MRI?
That's wild. That's not. Because one of them is so technologically advanced, and one of them is like in black and white.
Old timey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I think that they didn't overlap. Oh, but he was relatively young in his stardom, so maybe he lived a few more decades. We were talking about. I did research on Charlie Chaplin for this show, and I don't remember when he died. I don't remember at all. But I think no. I think there's too much of a gap there.
The answer is yes. Charlie
Wow.
Chaplin did not die until December of 1977 at the age of 88. And the MRI machine was invented in 1977.
Wow. Okay.
He could have gotten
way later than I
he
thought.
could have gotten an early one
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. He could have been the first.
Yeah.
We have to save Charlie Chaplin's life. He's dying of old age, but we think the MRI is going to help.
Yeah, this brand new fangled MRI machine.
Put him in a tube.
Wow. I don't trust it.
Nobody had transatlantic accents in the 70s
No.
unless they were talking directly to
To
Charlie
Charlie
Chaplin. Yeah. Fun.
All right, your next one.
Mm-hmm.
Could Sarah Bernhardt have used a parking meter?
Wow. This is silly. You got to save me. You got to tell me when Sarah Bernhardt was alive because I researched her.
You
Not
just
but weeks
researched
ago.
her like a month ago.
So you just got to give me that pass. It was the 18 like 90s.
She was really famous in like the late 1800s and the early 1900s.
Okay, so she did go into the 1900s.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry to everybody listening. Okay, so that is around the time that automobiles were being created, but a parking meter sounds like cars would have had to be more popular before parking meters. I think this isn't going to overlap.
Correct.
Okay.
This did not overlap. Sarah Bernhardt died in 1923, and the first parking meters were not until 1935.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. You know, nobody had cars during the Great Depression.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
The rabble didn't. The people who you wouldn't want parking on your lawn didn't have cars during the Great Depression.
All right. You ready for your next one?
Yes.
Could Elaine Stritch have used TikTok?
Oh, that's impossible. Did she die that recently? I only really learned about Elaine Stritch when we were getting ready for company, which was well after TikTok became popular. It would be really interesting. I just got to go with my gut and say no. I don't think that she was alive in like 2017 or 18 when TikTok came on the scene.
TikTok was first introduced as Douyin in China in
are you gonna hit us with that?
2016.
Okay,
2016. Then as TikTok in 2017.
Yeah.
Elaine Stritch died in 2014.
Okay.
Elaine Stritch died only 2 years before TikTok.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah.
That's really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
And yeah, so that's that 2014 is not when I was caring about Elaine Stritch.
Yes.
That's me being me being a dumbass.
So like you didn't realize like when Elaine Stritch died, you weren't like, oh my God, Elaine Stritch has passed.
Yeah, I should have been. Right.
You should have been, but you weren't. You weren't in your Stritch era.
I was too busy looking at TikTok videos or thinking about what I would be. I was too busy not knowing what I was supposed to do with my thumbs. I wish there was some use for my thumbs that I could have right now, but there's not an app that I can scroll on.
We were all just watching Vines back then.
I guess, yeah.
All right. Could Cole Porter have used an electric toothbrush?
Yeah, I think he had real pearly whites. And I think that the technology of an electric toothbrush is not that doesn't strike me as being too out there. And also, I mean, this was like 40s, 50s.
Yeah, you're close.
If it's even later, then fads for health crazes were a big thing in like 50s, 60s, 70s. So I'm going to say yes, these overlapped.
Correct. Cole Porter died in 1964.
Okay.
And the electric toothbrush was first sold in 1960. So
Cool.
yes, there was an overlap. Very nice.
Nice.
Cool. I think you've gotten a couple of these.
Oh, I don't even remember, but this has been so interesting.
It's been hard. I haven't even really been keeping score just because this is just interesting to see what you're gonna think of these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love that, these are, they're easy to remember because they feel so absurd.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Chaplin in an MRI.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, I just have one more for you.
Cool.
Could Marcel Marceau have had a Motorola Razr?
What? That's what? I think no.
The Motorola Razr was released in 2004.
Okay.
Marcel Marceau lived until 2007.
What?
Yeah, he lived a long time.
That's so cool.
Yes. He was born in the 20s.
It's just that nobody noticed because they couldn't hear him.
Yeah, Marcel Marceau was born in 1923. So it's really not that crazy that he would live until 2007. You just picture him because we know of his fame from the World War II era. We know of all the work he did in World War II. And also, I think you can probably picture him in like the 60s and 70s as like being famous at that point. But yes, he lived all the way until 2007.
Yeah, and I also feel like he was older when he was big and super famous.
Yeah.
But
his work in World War II, he was a relatively young man. He was only in his 20s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah, so Marcel Marceau could have had a Motorola Razr for 3 years. Really? He could have had 2 of them.
He could have had 2 generations of
Yeah.
Motorola razors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that
Cool.
crazy?
That's an especially mind-boggling one.
Right? This has been a really weirdly informative day for me.
Yeah. We all learned something.
We all learned
We
something.
laughed. We cried. We learned something.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for us on Amazing Technicolor Shit Show. Thank you so much for listening. We really, really love all of the support. And please send us your stories. We want all sorts of kinds of stories, good ones, bad ones, interesting ones, funny ones, just slice of life, whatever kind of stories you've got in your docket that you keep in your pocket. Send those stories to us at amazingtechnicolorshow@gmail.com or at the form on our website, amazingtechnicolorshow.com. If you like what you hear, go ahead and leave us a good review on all the podcast apps or give us a good rating as well. And tell your friends about us. If you don't like the show, go ahead and tell your enemies, and we will make passive-aggressive remarks about their technological suitability for the near-time future. We'll say, it might work someday.
It's never going to take off.
Never gonna take off. Piano accompaniment was provided by Paul Thelen, and the stage manager is Daniel Schneider. Thanks again so much for listening. We wish you the very, very best. And whatever it is you're up to, either on stage, off stage, or in your life, break a leg.
Amazing